Okay, YouTube, got my tripod back. Actually, I bought a brand new one. I kind of like this one. It's a bit taller than my last one. But remember my last video, I did the cleaning on the cast iron pan, the Aebleskiver pan. Well, today I'm going to make Aebleskivers like I promised. I got my ingredients laid out over here. I'm about ready to go. So yeah, let's start warming the pan up and let's get this process going. Alright, we're going to preheat our pan just onto medium heat. I do have a little bit of oil standing by for use later. And here are my ingredients. I've got 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 cups of milk, 3 eggs separated, whites, yolks. So making Aebleskivers is actually a very simple process. You whip the whites, you mix up the yolk, egg, and all the dry goods together, fold in the egg whites, and then we'll just put them in the warm pan. Cook them off. That's all you gotta do. Alright, first thing I want to do is I actually want to make up my batter. Take my flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, egg yolks, and my milk. Oh, thought I was plugged in, it wasn't. I'm just going to bring this together in a very loose batter. Once you get all the dry and wet incorporated, you can whip the speed up a little bit. Okay, once your batter is all mixed up, I'll set that aside. We're going to grab some whisks, whisk attachments onto your mixer now, and we're going to basically make a meringue. We gotta get this up into a stiff peak consistency. Try to use a glass bowl if you can. It works a lot easier than plastic. Gotta start it on low for a little bit, just until I get a small froth going. Alright, once I get a nice little head of froth going, I'm going to put the spurs to it. You see how I'm getting kind of a trail around my beaters? That's a good sign that I'm getting closer to my stiff peaks. Alright, to know that if you for sure got stiff peaks, you lift them up and you bend it over. Now you see how they fell down on me? That means I'm not quite to the stiff peak stage. Okay, you see how that peak is standing up? It's not falling over? That's what I'm wanting right there. Okay, the next step now is I actually have to take those egg whites and fold it into the batter. And there is a technique to actual folding, so let me show you how that goes. Okay, you're going to take about 1/3 of your egg whites. And this first set, you're just going to kind of mix it in. You're not too worried about it just yet. You just want to get it all incorporated. Alright, you're seeing some of those lumpies in there. That's fine. Alright, I'm going to take 1/3 of that. So I got now 2/3. Now this is the actual folding in process. You go down through the middle and up and over. Down, up and over. Down, up and over. Got it? But you're trying to incorporate this as best you can without losing all the air bubbles. Now I'm going to put in my last third, the last of the egg whites. And same process. Down through the middle and then fold it up and over. You notice I'm also turning the bowl slightly. Okay, so we're going to start the cooking process. My pan's nice and hot, as you can probably see all the little whiffs of smoke coming up. I'm going to put in a little oil. I'm going to take a little silicone brush, make sure the cup gets covered with the oil. If you slosh some out, don't worry about it. It's cast iron after all, you know. Just got my little scooper here. One scoop should fill a cup. Go around, fill them all up. So now when you're flipping, I just use chopsticks and I get underneath and I actually stick it into the cup and then I rotate it around. I think my pan was just a little too hot on this first batch. Don't worry too much about the stuff that sticks to the pan. So we'll just kind of sit here and keep on rotating them. Make sure that they're cooked all the way through. Distribute that heat around. I'll take them out. Grab my oil again, just a little bit in each cup. You don't need to do as much on the second, after that first one, you don't need as much oil. Again, grab my chopstick and right away start rotating. You want to keep with the tradition of what an Aebleskiver can do is that you could put apple inside of each one of these, or you can even make it more savory. You can put in sausage or blueberries or anything you really want. I personally just like them plain. So we're just going to keep on rotating them. Make sure they get cooked all the way through. As you can see, these move kind of fast, so you can cook up a whole batch of these things in probably less than 30 minutes. Now I've seen people to where they just flip the whole thing all in one go. I don't like doing that because it doesn't leave the Aebleskiver hole in the middle. And I'll show you what I mean by that once I get all these all cooked off. A little more oil, just a few drops in each cup. I tend to go the same way around the cup, around the pan. When filling the cups, I always do the same thing all the time. The way I'm rotating them, I'm sticking the skewer into it, grabbing the bottom and kind of forcing it up and around. Don't worry if you rip a hole in it because, well, the batter will just fill it back in. Alright, this should be my last batch. There you go, a full plate of Æbleskivers. Yeah, these are really good, and I tell you what, anyone that says that these things are just ball pancakes, they're full of shit. Because these are so light, they're so fluffy. It's comparing an angel food cake to a regular cake. Okay, angel food is so light and so fluffy because we beat the egg whites. Okay, that's our main source of leavening. Yeah, there was a little bit of baking powder. That's not doing a whole lot, okay? But look at this. This is my single serving size. But let me also show you. Now, remember when I was saying that some people flip them all at once? Well, that creates more of a solid pancake. It's still kind of ball shaped, but it's solid all the way through. If you rotate them, you get that little cavity in the middle right there. And what that's good for is your filling. You can fill these things with just about anything you want. You can do a little bit of jelly. Doesn't take much, just a little dab. You can do a little bit of honey. Just squeeze it in there. You can do a little bit of Nutella, or you can do what I do, just use syrup, but as you can see, my syrup is running low. But I'll just break them open, squirt a little syrup in there, and chow down. And you're not limited to just these toppings, okay? You can just roll them in sugar and cinnamon. And those are wonderful. They're great. This is Mark saying thanks again for watching. And I'll see you on the road.